Welcome back to Philosophize, the channel where we dive into the deepest and most fascinating ideas, breaking down complex topics one theory at a time. Today, we're going to tackle a theory that's been around for centuries, and in some circles, is still fiercely debated. Flat Earth theory. For most of human history, we've believed the Earth is a sphere. After all, it's something we learn as kids, and something we see when we look up at the stars. But in recent years, the flat Earth theory has resurfaced as a topic of interest, with a growing online community claiming that the Earth is not round but flat. Today, we're going to take an in-depth look at the origins of this theory, its proponents, the evidence both for and against it, and what it tells us about human curiosity, perception, and knowledge. To understand why some people still believe the Earth is flat, we have to look at its history. Believe it or not, the idea that the Earth is flat wasn't always considered fringe. In fact, in ancient civilizations, many believed in a flat Earth model. In early human history, most cultures, especially those in the Western world, thought the Earth was a flat disk, floating in space or resting on the back of a giant creature. Ancient civilizations, like the Egyptians and Babylonians, used this model to explain their understanding of the world around them. However, by around 500 BCE, the ancient Greeks started to challenge this idea. Pythagoras was one of the first to propose that the Earth was spherical, largely because of the curved shadow Earth casts on the moon during a lunar eclipse. Asterisk. This idea was eventually backed up by Aristotle, who pointed to other evidence like the way ships disappear over the horizon and the fact that different stars are visible at different latitudes. By the time of the Renaissance, the spherical Earth model was generally accepted, and it became a foundation for modern science. But despite this, the flat Earth theory never fully disappeared. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we see a resurgence of flat Earth theory, largely fueled by the internet and social media platforms. This movement has gathered a surprising amount of attention, especially with the rise of conspiracy theories in the digital age. You see, they've been lying to us. The Earth is flat, and all the evidence is right in front of you. Think about it. Why does the horizon always look flat? Why don't you feel the Earth moving? And have you ever seen the curve of the Earth with your own eyes? So, why do people continue to hold on to this belief, despite overwhelming scientific evidence to the contrary? It boils down to skepticism. Skepticism of authority, skepticism of scientific institutions, and sometimes, just a desire to question everything we're told. So, let's break down the core arguments from flat Earth believers. What exactly do they say in support of their theory? One of the primary claims is the visual evidence. Flat Earth proponents argue that when we look out at the horizon, it always appears flat, not curved. They also point to the fact that we don't feel any motion of the Earth, as if it were spinning at thousands of miles per hour. Additionally, some flat Earth advocates point to the lack of direct, personal experience with the curvature of the Earth. From ground level, the curvature is not obvious unless you're at very high altitudes, like in a plane or in space. To some, this absence of visible curvature feels like proof that the Earth must be flat. But of course, the mainstream scientific community is firm in its stance that the Earth is indeed a sphere. So, what's the counter evidence? First, let's talk about the photos of Earth from space. Time and time again, we've seen the Earth from orbit round, blue, and beautiful. The photos are consistent, and the evidence is clear. Even astronauts, who have seen the Earth from space, describe it as round, and they physically experience the Earth's curvature. The Coriolis effect, which causes storms to rotate differently in the northern and southern hemispheres, is also evidence of the Earth's spherical shape. Gravity, too, pulls objects toward the center of mass, which is why everything on Earth's surface feels down toward the ground. A flat Earth would create a completely different set of gravitational effects. But beyond the science, there's something even more intriguing about the flat Earth theory. It's a reflection of human nature and how we arrive at knowledge. Philosophers have long pondered the question of how we know what we know. Descartes famously doubted everything, even his own existence, but ultimately concluded, I think, therefore I am. In the case of the flat Earth theory, it's a reminder of the way skepticism can challenge even well-established truths. It raises an interesting question. what makes someone trust a scientific consensus, and what makes someone distrust it. The flat earth community is often made up of people who feel alienated from mainstream science and media, seeking a worldview that feels more coherent to them. Psychologically, belief in the flat earth theory may also be connected to the desire for control, a need for an alternative narrative, or the search for a deeper meaning in the chaos of the modern world. For some, believing in something that goes against the grain is a way to assert individuality or rebel against what they see as a flawed system. In a world where information is abundant and often contradictory, it's easy to see how people can gravitate toward alternative theories that feel more authentic to their experiences. So, after all this, what do we really learn from the flat earth theory? Perhaps it's not just about proving whether the earth is flat or round. It's about the nature of belief, the search for truth, and how we navigate a complex world full of information and misinformation. In the end, the flat earth debate reminds us that science is always evolving, but it's also about critical thinking, openness to new ideas, and a commitment to finding the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem. So, whether you believe the earth is flat or round, the key takeaway here is, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop philosophizing. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the flat earth theory. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Philosophize for more videos on thought-provoking topics. Let us know what you think about the flat earth theory in the comments below. Do you think there's more to it, or is it